In this series, we've been going over the next steps after you get SQL Monitor installed, the things you need to do. And we started off with setting up groups, then we went to security, and then we've been working on alerts for quite a few of the steps. And we've already customized alerts, and we talked about the importance of having multiple levels of alerts. Let's talk about the next thing that's going to happen. The next thing that's going to happen is after you've customized the alerts, you're fairly certain you've done some tuning, you're only getting a good set of signal to noise, you're still going to find out that you're getting some noise. And so you're going to have to go in and do some more granular tuning on the index, on the alerts. And that means going into the alert settings and identifying the fact that, say, for example, maybe it's possible that for disk space, what we need to look at is not an alert across your entire enterprise. It could be that production has one set of rules, staging has another, but for test, you really need to change the way the rules work. Maybe for test, you need to turn the rules off. And so what we can do is go in, and I've highlighted the rule that we were working in, disk space, and then I highlighted our test servers. I was able to select that folder, and now that has allowed me to filter down. And we can see over here that I can say inherit from all servers, or I can edit the all server settings. I can customize for this server and all levels below, or I can even say, hey, you know what, for this alert, we're just going to turn it off for everything below this level. And so we could do that. So you want to make sure you put a comment in so that you know why you've made the change to the rule, so that you've got some documentation for why you've made modifications. But we can go further than that. If we apply the changes here, that's fine. That will apply to all of these servers. But you know what you could do? You could apply it to all these servers and then say, you know what? In fact, for the test 05 server, and only for the test 05 servers, what we're going to do is customize this setting again. At this level, we could customize the settings. So you can take a more direct control over the alerts. And this is likely to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to go through and enable or disable alerts that you need. Obviously tune them and tweak them, set the alert level so that it's actionable or not. And all of that's going to make your experience getting on board with SQL Monitor much better. But then over time, you will find that you need to make adjustments. And the beautiful thing is the tool lets you make them at multiple levels. You can control for all servers, you can control for individual groups of servers, you can even nest groups of servers inside of one another and then control for those. Or as we've done here, you can go right down to the individual server or even down to the individual disk in this case, and decide, you know, I mean, this has only got the one disk, but you could decide which disk has which control at this low level of determining precisely how the behavior of your system is controlled. So that's really a huge deal, and you're going to be doing that a lot over time after you get SQL Monitor installed. Now, the last thing I want to say about alerts is that we've also now got the ability in alerts to set up an alert suppression. So even though you've got the whole concept of setting up the alerts and tuning the alerts, and we've covered all of that, you may find that due to having maintenance windows or ongoing maintenance or even an emergency, you may want to turn off alert notification for a short period of time. And you can take advantage of that. It's a new feature. It's going to grow and expand. But the basic idea is you define the windows very clearly. You give it a name. You can determine which machine or sets of machines that the alerts apply to. You can determine if it's a recurring or if it's a one-off, monthly, weekly, and set it up however you need to set it up. But all of this is how you are going to take direct control of the alerting, because the alerts are how you want to manage emergencies and, you know, immediate activity that you need to do over time. And this all gives you that ability to manage those mechanisms and ensure that your alerting is providing you the kind of signal you need, the information you need to do actionable things at the appropriate times. And so this is the last video I have in the current set of getting started videos. These have covered things from setting up the groups so that you can manage things by group, setting up your security so that you ensure that you've got different levels of security for the people who want to access the information within your system. And then finally, most of the work when you're first initially setting up SQL Monitor is tuning the alerts to ensure that you've got a very high information rate and a very low noise rate. With all of that, you are now operating within SQL Monitor. After that, you may get into things like custom metrics and, of course, figuring out how best to respond and gather information and all of the rest of the stuff that you can do with the tool. But in terms of getting started, these are, I think, the most important topics to cover, and so we've gone through them in this set of videos. I hope it's proved helpful. If you have questions, please put them into the comments section. My name is Grant Fritchie. I work for Redgate Software. Thanks for watching.